Welcome to KNN 360 Degrees News Channel. In the heart of Nairobi, Kenyan police used tear gas against protesters as small groups gathered in a renewed demonstration against President William Ruto. This protest, known as the Nane March, which translates to August 8th, marked a continuation of weeks of unrest and was part of a broader movement demanding political reform. The Nane March followed a series of pro-reform protests that had already led to significant changes. These earlier demonstrations pressured Ruto to abandon proposed tax hikes and to overhaul his cabinet. On Thursday, riot police were seen patrolling the streets of Nairobi's central business district, and roadblocks were established on major roads, resulting in many shops closing their doors. Kenya, recognized as one of the most stable nations in East Africa, had been rocked by intense protests in recent weeks. These protests were particularly notable for their scale and the involvement of young Kenyans, primarily from Generation Z. Acting Police Inspector General Gilbert Masengeli reported significant police activity related to the protests. In Nairobi, 126 individuals were arrested. In Kitengela, 22 were taken into custody, and in Imali Makueni County, 26 were detained. Despite the confrontations in Nairobi, Masengeli assured that the situation remained relatively peaceful in other parts of the country. He acknowledged that the protests were largely controlled, with only one police officer injured during the clashes. Masengeli took the opportunity to thank all law-abiding Kenyans for their role in maintaining peace and order. He reiterated the National Police Service's commitment to democratic policing, emphasizing respect for the rule of law, professionalism, transparency, and accountability. The Inspector General also highlighted the importance of the Constitution of Kenya, specifically Article 37, which guaranteed every person's right to peacefully assemble, demonstrate, picket, and present petitions to public authorities. The Inspector General addressed the fact that the organizers of the day's protests had not notified the police in advance. Nevertheless, he assured that adequate security measures were in place, and the public was advised to avoid crowded areas that might become chaotic. Masengeli also mentioned intelligence reports indicating potential threats from criminals planning to infiltrate the protests and cause further disruption. This crisis represented one of the most significant challenges of Ruto's presidency. In response to the protests, Ruto suspended the new taxes in June after some demonstrators briefly entered parliament. Additionally, last month, he dismissed his entire cabinet, except for the foreign minister, which was seen as a concession to the activists' demands for substantial changes. As Ruto was busy overseeing the swearing-in of his new cabinet, police actively dispersed crowds in Nairobi. The use of tear gas led to several arrests, although the situation was relatively calm in other parts of the city and the country. Footage from Mombasa showed normal traffic flow, and Kisumu, located by the western lakeside, was reported to be tranquil. According to human rights organizations, over 50 people have lost their lives since the protests began, with reports of police using excessive force, including live ammunition. Additionally, there were numerous reports of missing persons, adding to the growing concerns about the handling of the protests. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more breaking news.